Let's get back to the deployment model. Why is that such an important thing for developers to know?
It's the thing that's the most alien to them. I think most people that come to SharePoint are coming from an ASP.NET background, and so they say, well, I understand ASP.NET, I can build a control, I can write a page.
They know where everything goes. And it's
so getting my stuff onto SharePoint ought
What's
to be
complicated about the SharePoint deployment model?
Feature framework and web solution packages. You can't. There's no
there's
X-copy deployment. Well, SharePoint. The thing that makes SharePoint powerful is that it lets users click a button and make stuff. So they're going to click a button and make a whole site, or they're going to click a button and make a list, or they're going to click a button and a whole workflow comes into place. So you're not just putting your files into a set of folders. You've got to first off put them in the right place. You have to advertise them to SharePoint correctly, which is all XML syntax. You've got to run
configuration.
Packaging and deployment and configuration, and it's not, to me, having been through the learning curve, I don't think it's very hard, but it's not something that they have any analogy that they can draw from having worked with ASP.NET. It's completely different.
And absolutely critical, you know, when it comes down to
That's right.
Oh, very good. Well, we're just about out of time, but what advice can you give? What other advice can you give SharePoint developers who are sort of up to their ankles or up to their elbows, for that matter, in knowledge and information? There seems to just be so much stuff coming at us all the time.
Right. Well, this goes into the understand the deployment model as well, but there are a set of files that make up a SharePoint installation, this magic place called the 12 hive, where everything is located.
The 12 hive.
The 12 hive.
Oh,
12 HIV, like a registry hive. And I don't know who named it the 12 hive. I don't, but somebody did, and that's what all of us SharePoint developers call this place in the program files folder, where the SharePoint files are located, and they are a wealth of information. If you understand what's in there and you want to do customize a particular piece of functionality, you want to do something new, if you understand where the original or the similar things are, you can open them up and see how Microsoft did it and actually copy from it, and then I guess it's Redgate's reflector now is another good thing. The documentation is a lot better now than it was, but and there's a good bit of obfuscated code in the SharePoint object model, but if you can just grab it by the throat, wrestle that sucker to the ground, and you know, I'm given two pieces of seemingly contradictory advice. Master it as an end user and understand what the features are, but then dive to the bottom of the pile and figure out how everything is actually put together. And if you can reconcile those two things in your head and know it from both angles, then your life is going to be much, much easier, because then you'll be able to say, hey, I know where there's an artifact out of the box that does something a little bit similar to what that user is telling me they want. Maybe it's not quite the thing, but instead of then having to pull open an SDK or jump out to the blogosphere and try to find the How I Did It article that describes that exact same thing, you can go, well, you know, this is what this looks like, and I know here's where the files that make that up are actually. Let's take a look and see how we can construct something similar.
Doug, do you also do SharePoint training?
I also do SharePoint training. You can read about that on my website. I work with Dunn Training and Consulting, my good friend Mark Dunn.
Yep.
And we do public classes from time to time. I believe he just advertised some new ones. And I also run the Atlanta.NET user group. So if you're ever in Atlanta on the last Monday of a month and want to come out and hear about something other than SharePoint, to keep my membership, I'm not allowed to come and talk about SharePoint 10 times a year. So as much as I might like to. We're going to be talking about Silverlight for beginners this month.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, last Monday of the month.
Well, Doug, thanks a lot. It's been great talking to you.
Right. Thank you, Carl.
All right, and have a good show.
Thanks.